Well, how many, is there anybody here who watched the Kentucky Derby yesterday on TV? Didn't last very long, did it? It was so rainy, wet, the racetrack was sopped. It was awful. You know, when horses run like that in the rainy track, what do they call mudders, right? Mudders. And if it was me, I would have postponed the whole thing till next Sunday, which is called Mother's Day, right? I mean, when you think about it, Mother's Day. You confirmation people, you don't laugh at these jokes or what? You know, I could ask you, young people getting ready for confirmation, I could ask you a lot of very difficult questions about religion and God and heaven, but I'm only going to ask, you're from different churches, right? I'm going to ask you one question. Who's the best looking priest in town? Come on. Come on, let's hear it. Let's go. Come on. All right, so, all right, okay. Oh, see how I've got them trained here. Let me share a word about the gospel for the third Sunday of Easter. First of all, there's a little town down in Pennsylvania. I forgot the name, I read about it. And there was a big old building in the middle of the town. It used to be beautiful. It was called the Old Hickory Inn. It was an inn, a tavern, a bar, and it went back to the Victorian days. Magnificent. But it fell into, well, it's a mess. It became a wreck, a real dump. And so this guy was traveling there. He was a building contractor. He had his own company. And he bought that old building, and he renovated it, and refurbished it, and renewed it, and gave it a new life, a second chance. And they say it's the most beautiful building in that part of Pennsylvania now, the Old Hickory Inn. Well, to me, that's what happened to our friend St. Peter in the gospel. Remember, before our Lord was crucified that day, they had asked Peter, "Do you know that Jesus of Nazareth?" And he said 3 times, "No, I don't know him. I don't know the guy. I never met him. I have no idea." They kept asking him 3 times, "But weren't you with him? You hung out with him in his company?" Peter 3 times denied that he even knew Jesus. So in this gospel, 3 times, the Lord of Easter renovates St. Peter, like the guy did with the old building. He refurbishes him. He renews him. He gives him a second chance. And Peter says, "I love you, Lord," 3 times. And he ends up following Jesus in a closer way. He was already a disciple, but now he's really following the risen Lord. "I love you, Lord," 3 times. And to me, that's what Easter time is all about, these weeks, this springtime, end of April, all through May and into June. These weeks of Easter is a time for you and I to be given another chance. You know, we always need to be renovated, refurbished, renewed, you know, get a new look in our soul. It's spring cleaning for the soul, these weeks of Easter. And it's very powerful. St. Peter was not perfect. Many times he opened his mouth to put his foot in his mouth. One time, he told Jesus, "There shouldn't be any cross. We don't want any suffering following you." Remember, our Lord said, "Satan, get behind me." He was very upset at Peter. So Peter wasn't a perfect follower of Jesus, and you're not, and neither am I. So we need seasons, times, to refurbish, renovate, give ourselves a second chance, polish up the gift of faith in our heart and in our soul. And that's what these weeks of Easter are really all about. It's a time for that. And so isn't it funny, or coincidence anyway, that this third week of Easter, we hear about the first pope, St. Peter. Because later Jesus would say to Peter, "You are rock, and on this rock I will build my church." Beautiful words. And now they're over there in Rome, and in a few days they're going to start figuring out, praying to God's Spirit to direct them, who will be the new leader of the 1.5 billion Catholic people in the world. That includes you and I. And they're going to be choosing the one who will follow in the way of St. Peter. He was the first. And we've had all these popes. And in our lifetime, we've been happy to have popes that have actually been made saints. They were so good, very good people. So Jesus said, you are rock, and on this rock I will build my church. Well, we're in St. Peter's fishing boat. We're all in the same boat. We're called to refurbish, renovate our faith during Easter. We're not the rock that the church is built on, but we're the littler stones. Maybe we're even pebbles, but the church is based on our faith, practicing it, enjoying it, and sharing it with others. Peter, you are rock, and on this rock I shall build my church. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit.